Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome here to the Norristown Area High School Gymnasium on a very cold and somewhat snowy evening here in January, where tonight, in a non-league contest, the Eagles of Norristown will take on the Warriors of Westchester Henderson High School. This is going to be a very key game tonight for both teams. Henderson hasn't beaten Norristown in at least 6 or 7 years, and on the other hand, Norristown is struggling, coming off a very difficult loss in the Triangle Club tournament to Kennedy Kenrick. Henderson comes in with a record of 9-3, Norristown with a record of 3-5. And at this time, I'd like to introduce the two people who will be broadcasting the game this evening. To your left and my right is Bob Koch, former girls coach at many programs, did an excellent job wherever he coached. And to my left and your right, Joe Highland. Once again, Joe tonight will be in broadcasting the game along with Bob Koch. Bob, you've been through a situation, I'm sure, as a coach before, where you have a new group of kids. They're struggling maybe early season. They're coming off a couple tough losses, an under 500 record, and now they have another non-league game maybe to try to right the wrong, albeit against a very strong and formidable opponent.
Well, I think as a coach right now, you're looking to focus on the positives. Don't dwell on the negatives. The recent tournament is history. You're focusing on looking to develop as many positive things with the league just around the corner. So it should be a good time for them. It's good competition, and that's the only way they're going to continue to get better.
And Joe Highland, who's talked extensively today to Coach Leon Bell, who's in his 4th season at the helm of Westchester Henderson. Leon Bell, a former college player at Cheney State, played under the legendary John Cheney at Temple University. And Joe, what do you know about Westchester Henderson?
Well, first of all, Tom, I'd like to wish you and Bob and all our viewers a very happy New Year. Henderson is coached by Leon Bell, who is now in his 4th year at that school. Henderson, as Tom mentioned, is playing very well. They have a 9-3 record. They had a very impressive showing in the Springford tournament, beating Penwood, and for the championship game, Springford rather handily. Henderson is led by their 6'2" point guard, a young man by the name of Chase Graves. According to Coach Bell, Graves is a leader on the floor, is very quick, can shoot, and is drawing some attention from local colleges. Henderson will be starting 5 seniors, so Norristown will be having to cope with an experienced opponent. Henderson will also be starting at center 6'5" Eddie Conroy, so the Eagles' front court will be sorely tested this evening. Henderson, according to Coach Bell, will throw a number of defenses at the opposition, everything from a zone press to a man-to-man. So I look forward to a very good game. It'll be interesting to see how well the Eagles rebound from a very disappointing showing in the Triangle tournament. Henderson is on a roll, and they come into the other guy's building, as it were, with the hopes of carrying home a victory.
Thank you, Joe. Now, Bob, tonight Coach Michaels informed me that he's revamping his starting lineup. He's going to keep 2 of his key returning players from last year. He's going to keep them on the bench, at least in a non-starting role, and he's going to go with a 3-guard offense with Gabe Irizarry, 5'7" point guard, along with Jamal Alford, another guard, and Anthony Carmona, the young sophomore. Also starting for Norristown tonight, Bob, will be, for the first time, I believe, their 6'8" center, Charles Bronson, and at forward will be Terry Pearson, coming off an injury. And one of the reasons Coach Michael said for this revamped lineup is that he felt as though too many players were playing complacently. He said he can live with people not shooting well. He can live with people perhaps executing poorly, but he can't live with people not busting their gut and giving it an all-out effort defensively. So your spin that, and how do you think starting role for maybe 2 or 3 players that have not been in this position before, and how do you think it'll affect the veterans that will be coming off the bench?
I see all that as positive. First of all, you have younger players. They have played together in summer leagues. They have played together in other leagues before, so they are familiar with each other. That's a plus. Secondly, for the players, if they're not going to start in that original position, it'll probably be good for them to get a little bit of bench time. That is a great elixir, as we both know, for players who have a tendency to be complacent or to be lazy. So that's probably a great move on his part. And it may turn out that that's a lineup that he can live with for some time. It's going to be a quick lineup, and if Mr. Bronson can do the things that he's projected to do, it could be a very tough opponent tonight.
Right, and Coach Michaels is also bringing up 3 JV players to suit up at varsity, and his thoughts to me today were, I expect them to play. And that's Brandon Jonas, Greg Roscoe, and Willis Gardner. So it's going to be an interesting spin tonight. A lot of things have to develop well for Norristown, and Henderson's going to be looking to keep the ball rolling. So tonight's game between the Warriors of Henderson and the Eagles of Norristown will be back after a short break. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. We're back here at the Norristown High School Gymnasium for tonight's game between the Norristown Eagles and the Henderson Warriors. We're about to introduce tonight's starting lineup. Tonight's game pits the Henderson Warriors at 9-3 against the struggling Norristown Eagles at 3-5. Henderson is coming off a very
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Norristown Area High School, where this evening we have an interleague contest, inter-district contest between the Warriors of Westchester Henderson High School under the direction of head coach Leon Bell, going against the Eagles of Norristown High School under the tutelage of head coach Bill Michaels. The officials for tonight's game will be Mr. Rudy Cottom and Mr. Dana Garner. The Warriors come into tonight's game with an overall record of 9 victories against only 3 defeats, a member of the Chestmont League. Let's meet the Warriors from Westchester Henderson. At guard, a senior, number 14, Travis Reed.
starting for the Warriors, Travis Reed.
A senior, 5'11", number 24, Randy Whiteman.
Randy Whiteman.
At the center position, number 44, 6'5" senior, Neil Thornton. At forward, number 42, 6'5", senior, Edward Conroy. And at forward, number 12, a 6'1" sophomore, Antoine Jacobs.
No, that's wrong. He's wrong.
That's not right. I don't know, but that's...
Yeah.
Number 12 will be the starting lineup. Make that correction, that will be number 12, Ace Green. And now, let's meet the start for your Norristown Eagles.
Here come the Eagles, ladies and gentlemen.
At guard, number 3, a senior, 6'1", Jamal Alford.
Starting at guard, Jamal Alford.
A junior, 5'7", number 11, Gabriel Irizarry.
Gabe Irizarry, starting at the other guard position.
The man in the middle, number 52, 6'8" senior, Charles Bronson.
Starting at center for the Eagles, Charles Bronson.
Number 22, sophomore, 6 foot tall, Anthony Carmona.
Anthony Carmona, a sophomore, starting tonight.
2 senior, Terry Pearson.
And the 5th starter for Norristown, Terry Pearson. coming off a bruised thigh.
And now we ask everyone to please rise and help honor America, the playing of our national anthem.
I'll tell you what, I wish they would bring back the draft.
Tonight's game is being videotaped on the Norristown Area School District Television Network. Will be seen later this week or next week. Mr. Joseph Island and Mr. Bob Koch on the telecast.
Well, here we go, fans. Henderson is starting 2 minutes 6-5. So as we mentioned in the pregame broadcast, Norristown could have some problems on the boards. Norristown was clearly out-hustled by Plymouth Whitemarsh before Christmas on the offensive and the defensive boards. Bronson and Thornton jumping center. Tap control by Henderson. Norristown in a man-to-man. Norristown's ball. Henderson in a zone press. Bob, is the cliche true that teams that like to press don't like to be pressed?
I think that's very accurate. I know that over the years we pressed and we didn't particularly care to be pressed. It does seem to work that way.
Here comes Norristown. Randy Whiteman with a steal and a layup.
He's in trouble.
Whiteman again with the steal.
Oh, brother.
Whiteman has 4 points. Henderson's zone press resulted in 2 steals and 2 layups. Arizari setting up the offense. Top of the key. This is not an auspicious start for the Eagles.
Joe, that was a non-penetrating turnover against the 3-2. It was a lateral pass, and they seem to be very confused as to what to do with it.
Ball out under the Henderson basket. Inbounding will be Eddie Conroy, 6'5", senior. Is their go-to guy, Chase Graves. He's being looked at by many area colleges. Norristown broke the press easily that time. Anthony Carmona from beyond the arc. Bob, that's the 4th turnover.
Yeah, I was just going to say to you, Joe, that's 4 turnovers already, 2 against the press and 1 in the front court. So Norristown has to do a much better job keeping a handling on the ball. Those turnovers are possessions, and possessions, of course, are potential points.
With the field goal, shooting 1.
Charles Bronson did yeoman work on the offensive glass. Put back an errant shot, and now is going for a 3-point play.
Joe, if I'm right, Henderson's had 4 possessions, 2 that they've scored off of the press, but both times they've had the ball in half-court set, they've turned it over. It looks like they may have some difficulty scoring against the half-court defense.
Norristown still in a man-to-man. Chase penetrated, slashed to the basket, drew a foul.
Shooting for the Warriors, number 12, Chase Graves.
Graves is their go-to guy, had a terrific tournament in the Springford Christmas tournament.
Oh, brother.
Each team with 1 foul. Score tied at 6.
Tied at 6.
Still a lack of communication here, Joe. We're not communicating on the passes. The players don't actually even seem the basketball.
That's 5 turnovers in less than 2 minutes, a little over 2 minutes. All right, Norristown handled the press well that time. They're setting up their half-court offense. Arizari, nice jump shot, got a good look, put it in the hole. Here comes Irizarry. Nice pass inside. Nice play. Very nice play. Nice spin move by Graves. Put back by Neil Thornton.
Robson on the offensive rebound, foul.
Doesn't seem, Joe, it doesn't seem that Henderson can handle the quickness and the transition of his area at the point guard. When he's getting down the court, it looks like Norristown can take advantage of that tonight.
I think you're right. I think you're right, Bob. I think Norristown is a little quicker. And I think Irizarry brings a certain intensity to the game that's refreshing. He wants to play the game. He wants to play.
Route violation.
Now Norristown in a full court man-to-man. We'll see how Henderson can handle it. Conroy with a nice soft touch.
Conroy.
Score is tied, 3 minutes to go. Bronson again.
Jamal Humphrey.
There's a turnover by Graves. Here comes Norristown. There's a foul underneath. Foul on.
It's his second.
Second. Bronson appears to be winded. He's out of the game. In for the Eagles is Ken Smith.
Number 10, Darnell Gowdy.
And number 10, Darnell Gowdy.
I like the job that he's done the first couple minutes of the game. Bronson's done a nice job on the boards, worked inside.
Yep. Very nice move.
Nice play, nice hesitation, nice finish.
Third field goal.
Good call. I think he got caught with a little push going inside, put out the elbow.
Norristown kicked the ball. Henderson retains possession. Conroy to inbound. Graves was a little out of control on that drive to the basket. Lost control of the ball. It's Norristown's ball. Score is tied at 12. 1:45 to go.
Reaching foul, number 24, Randy Whiteman. His first, team third.
Very nice pass inside. Nice look. Pearson took advantage of a very good pass.
Henderson calls timeout.
Timeout, Henderson. Bob, I'm impressed by the floor generalship of Irizarry.
I am too. I like the way he's pushing the ball up the court. And so far, with a minute left in the first period, a couple things that I see with Norristown, if they can keep it a half-court game, I think they're going to be successful. They'll get to know each other as the game progresses. They'll minimize the turnovers. And the transition game seems to be there for Norristown. Zary gets the ball down court, and I don't think Henderson has the guard that can match his quickness or his moves. On the other side of it, though, Henderson scores off of the press. They don't seem to have that effective half-court game. They've turned it over, by my guesstimates, probably about 5 times in the first quarter. Part of that may be Norristown's defense. I don't think so. It's just not good coordination on the offensive end of the ball.
Back to the action. There's a very hard foul underneath.
See, here we go now. Henderson's back in a scoring position, but it's off a transition again.
Number 3, Jamal Alford, his second. Team 4.
So if Norristown gets back on defense, forces Henderson to play a half-court game, that's to Norristown's advantage, correct?
Norristown will be successful tonight, I think, because I think they can control the boards, or at least stay even with them on the boards. I like Norristown's half-court game better than I like Henderson's half-court game at this point.
Carmona replaces Alford.
Nice inbounds play, Joe. Nice and clean. Nobody even was close to him.
That was number 12, Chase Graves.
See, there's another turnover.
Zari's really playing well, controlling the ball, distributing the ball, seeing the floor, just what a point guard should do. Very impressed by the young man.
I'm surprised at the number of turnovers for 12 games into the season, and you're looking roughly at 24 to 27 turnover game at this stage of the game. That's a lot of turnovers, Joe.
Norristown's playing for the last shot. Five seconds. All right, that's the end of the first quarter with Henderson 15, Norristown 14.
As I said a couple moments ago, I like Norristown's chances at this point. If we can manage to keep it a half-court game, minimize the turnovers, I think Henderson will turn the ball over enough for us to be successful.
One of the things I've noticed tonight that was not present against Plymouth Whitemarsh was that Norristown is playing with a little more defensive intensity. Against Plymouth Whitemarsh, they were very slow. They were always seemed to be a step slow, and Plymouth Whitemarsh took advantage of that.
Norristown seems to be quick tonight. They're making that transition very well.
Right.
I'd just like to see them cut back on the turnovers, be more patient, and that patience, I think, will yield good results for them.
Bronson is back into the game.
That situation after one period. Norristown.
The big man had a very productive first quarter.
Jamal Alford and Charles Bronson. Henderson, no one with more than one.
Nice shot.
For 3.
I understand this Carmona boy can shoot, and he's proving it tonight. There's a scramble under the boards, and Zary and Graves tangled for the ball. Ariziri has no fear.
There's a situation too. He made the penetration, but he didn't have options, and that's happened several times tonight. He's got into the paint, and nothing productive came out of it.
Nice jump shot. Travis Reed, a nice jumper from about 12 feet. Norristown is starting to handle the press better. Certainly a lot better than it did the first 2 minutes of the game.
One thing I can't understand, and I haven't seen this much on either side tonight, notice their hands on defense. Nobody has the hands up, shrinking those passing lanes.
Good point. Good point, Bob. Nice putback by Kent Smith.
I wonder how long it'll take Henderson to recognize that they're not working. Norristown is not working Bronson inside. His points are coming off follow-ups. You notice last possession, he didn't touch the ball once. Norristown's looking at a perimeter game, and Bronson is looking to score off the follow-up, not looking to get the feet into the post and go to the basket. Henderson, I think, will take advantage of that pretty soon. You'll start doubling on other players.
In other words, Norristown has to start looking inside for the big guy.
He's not even touching the ball. You'd like to see him touch it every 3-4 passes, make the defense double down and react to it. That'll open up your outside game.
There's a foul underneath. That's Norristown's 6th foul. One more and they're in the bonus.
His first, team 6.
Quick hands, Kent Smith.
Number 15, Terry Pearson, replaced number 52, Charles Baratza.
A little too aggressive. Number 14, Travis Reed.
Number 14, Travis Reed. Into the game for Norristown, number 4, Marvito Christie.
Alvarito Christie had a good game against Plymouth Whitemarsh, hit some long jump shots, as I recall. Henderson still in the zone press. Dangerous cross-court pass.
Downey for Marie. Marvito Christie.
Travel. Yep, good call. Good call. I'm not seeing Henderson go to its bench much either. I think they've made one sub at this point. Looks like Norristown's going to be a lot deeper across the board. They've used 7, 8 players, 9 players already.
And that's going to pay off in the 4th quarter, correct, Coach?
Yes, it should.
Fresh legs.
Good defensive play there by number 4, Marvito Christie. Into the game for Henderson, number 12, Chase Graves.
Bob, I get the feeling that the Henderson offense is a little bit helter-skelter. There doesn't seem to be a lot of
There's not a lot of passes,
plays, right.
a lot of turnovers. Quite frankly, I'm a little confused as to what's transpired. I don't know what's going on. If you don't score off the transition, you may not score on the half-court set.
Right.
You certainly want to see the running game and see them push the ball up court, but if your primary break doesn't work, you get into your secondary break, and if you don't score off of that, then you're patient, you work the ball inside, you penetrate. What we're seeing is just a lot of turnovers and a lot of miscommunication. I think what Norristown is going to have to be concerned with, though, they're at the 6th foul mark with 5 minutes left to go in the second quarter. I think they have to be conscious of that. They don't want to put Henderson on the foul line for one-on-ones or potentially two-shot fouls at the end of the first quarter, at the end of the first half.
And there's 5 minutes to play. That's right.
It's a lot of time. It's a travel. It's a good call. Official saw it, shift his feet.
It'll be interesting to see how Norristown handles the press without their point guard, Arizari. Nice pass underneath.
And a foul. Next Smith will be going to the foul line, hopefully completing a three-point play.
It may be time for Henderson to come off of the press. They're giving up easy buckets. They're giving up some fouls. Come back to it 2-3 minutes down the line. Come back to it a little later. But right now, Norristown seems to have figured it out.
Coach, in attacking the press, passing is much more important than dribbling, correct?
You don't put the ball on the floor. And you want to make a Z effect. Z up and down the court, spread the zone, and you want to use your pass fake. You don't want to put the ball on the floor against the zone. Against the man, you want to attack it, putting it on the floor, make them play catch up. But against the zone, it's got to be good pass fakes and work across court. Spread it out.
Number 14, Travis Reed.
See, Henderson was caught napping on that, Joe.
There's a technical foul.
Technical foul
against
in the heat of the moment, a young man lost his temper.
Personal foul against number 14, Travis Reed, his second, and then a technical foul assessed against number 14, Travis Reed, his third. Norristown will be shooting 2 possessions.
I'm sure Coach Leon Bell, who was a disciple of John Chaney, is not happy with that absence of discipline on the part of his two-guard.
See, I guess, Joe, I'm in a school of thought, players don't get technicals. He's out of the game. Of course, he could be out for a variety of reasons. He picked up his third foul with that, but players don't create technical situations. I was very proud of the fact that in the 27 years that we coached, I didn't have a coaching technical. I never felt that I should get into that part of the game. Some coaches have a different philosophy. Get after it, it motivates the players. I try to stay away from player and coach technicals. And our players just didn't have them. They understood you don't do that.
In other words,
this is a serious possession here.
In other words, there are no circumstances where a technical foul is justified.
Against the players, no. Players, no. I'm not going to say that's true with coaches because coaches use that as a coaching philosophy. It's a tool. But from a player position, players do not put themselves to give up technicals.
There's a nice follow-up by Kent Smith.
And on the assist, number 30 on the bucket, Kent Smith, foul shooting one.
Norristown's just doing a great job on the rebounds and follow-ups. They're scoring, not only scoring, they're getting foul opportunities and foul shots out of it.
Kent Smith and young Bronson are doing very, very well.
Another offensive rebound, Joe.
It appears that Coach Michaels' desire to shake up the team is working.
Henderson doesn't seem to have a lot of spark right now. It seems to be going through the motions. They need somebody to light their fire.
And it's hard to understand with a 9-3 record.
Yeah, well, as I know, Joe, those things are relative. It's relative to the competition. It's relative to what's going on. There can be a lot of variables there, and they're not playing like a 9-3 team right now.
No.
And Norristown is not playing with a team less than a 500 record either.
Good point. Norristown has an 11-point lead with 3.5 minutes to go. Whiteman with a rebound inside.
I think Henderson needs to put some points on the board in the next couple minutes to shrink that lead at halftime and go in feeling positive about themselves.
That basket, that last basket, was by Andy White, who is the Coach Bell's sixth man, and for some reason he was just taken out of the game.
See, now here's a great opportunity for Henderson. They're just down by 11. It's down by 9. Norristown just turned the ball over. Henderson gets a possession back. They may go back into their press. Maybe an 11-point lead shrinks to 5 or 6. You go in feeling a lot better about themselves. The other side of it, Norristown has the opportunity to kick that lead back up to 12 or 13, maybe hold for the last shot at the end of the half, and then go in feeling really good and knowing they have a 16-minute game to play and they can knock off a 9-3 team.
Coach, let me ask you, how do you get a team up to play a non-conference opponent? I mean, they're without like a traditional rivalry, Upper Marion, Norristown, PW Norristown. How do you get a team up?
I'll tell you what, Joe. In our past, I never like to think in terms of getting up for any particular team. The thing is with that, I think when you do that, you experience too many highs and lows. You just try and treat every game and you focus on what they have as assets, what their strengths and weaknesses are, and that's your challenge. I don't like the idea of getting up for a particular team. I think it's dangerous because you can really flatten out from that. You want to focus on what they do and are you good enough to handle that? That's your challenge. Got to go up strong. Got to go up strong. Yeah, he stepped up and traveled. I do like the fact that Norristown's been more patient the last couple minutes, or at least it seems to be more patient. They're looking for that step-up jumper. But I'd still like to see him work the ball inside a little bit. Relying a lot on that outside shot.
There's another rebound by Kent Smith, who's playing a very good game tonight. Gowdy simply outran the defense. Simply outran the defense. Henderson did not get back. There's a blocking foul.
Make that a blocking foul.
Number 15 on the foul, Terry Pearson. Norristown is over the limit.
Randy Whiteman will be shooting a 1-and-1. Score is 32-21 with 2 minutes to play.
Number 24, Randy Whiteman shooting 1-and-1.
That's not the kind of miss you'd like to see with 2 minutes left and you're down by 11 points. You need to make that 1-on-1.
Nice pass inside. Good look. Very nice play.
See, good penetration, kicked the ball underneath, got the score out of it. Norristown is in a 1-on-1 situation. Be patient, work it inside, and force Henderson to foul. Here's another turnover.
Turnover by Henderson. Norristown ball. 1:26 remaining until halftime.
Norristown handled the press very well. Is handling the press very well. Taking a little bit of the air out of the ball at this time. Henderson is not aggressive on defense. They're coming out now, starting to hawk. There's that penetration again, Bob.
Yeah, and see, I like the fact that Henderson came out on defense. You don't want to let the ball just expire like that. You want to put pressure, particularly with officials paying attention to the 5-second closely guarded. You've got to make the ball handler control the ball and work the offense, or they're going to turn it over. Interestingly, Norristown turned it over, and Henderson got the ball back.
I understand.
I really think there's
52 on the over-the-top foul, Jeff Maxson, his first, team's 9th.
Henderson may have a mismatch with their height in their favor inside, Joe, but they're not doing a real good job rebounding and posting up. There's nobody for Henderson that's posting up. They don't have that kind of player.
A little more than a half minute to play. There's a nice putback underneath by Henderson.
I think that was a tough shot too, Joe, because
that was
from the
Jeff
angle he
Maxson.
had, little glass on that. That ball went through the cylinder very quick. He got up, got rid of it very quickly. Tough shot.
Foul, 10, Darnell County. Field goal, good by 52, Jeff Maxson.
You know, be interesting, Joe, to see how they play out the last 20 seconds. If Henderson scores out of this, will they put on the pressure? Will Norristown hold for the last shot?
That was a nice three-point play by the youngster, Jeff Maxim. Nice play. Get it down to 10 points. 15 seconds to go in the half.
Oh, interesting. Turnover. There it is. Norristown turns it over, and they get an opportunity to cut it to 8 or 7, and maybe another possession out of it.
Seconds to go.
There's Maxim again. Opportunistic basket.
See, I said to you, Joe, that's what you're looking at. That 11 is down to 8, but you had the last bucket before half.
That's the end of the first half. Norristown 34, Henderson 26. Bob, your thoughts on the first half?
Well, I think from the Norristown standpoint, the coach is saying to their players, look, we keep it a half-court game. We minimize the turnovers. We can attack the press. We can beat the press. We can score off of it. I'd like to see Bronson get the ball inside more, get some touches out of it, make the Henderson defense come out and play. On the other side of it, Henderson is struggling in the half-court set. So I'm saying to Norristown, let's play good defense, avoid the fouls. They are taking jump shots. They're not working the ball inside real well. They're scoring off of the full-court press, off a transition. We cut that down. So if I'm the Norristown coach, I'm very optimistic at this point. We got an 8-point lead. We had 11. We know we can balloon on it. If you're Henderson, you know that you have to do a better job, patient job on the offensive end. Your press hasn't been working. You've got to spot the press. And then when you aren't pressing, you can't give up the easy transition layups that they're giving up.
Over the course of the holidays, Coach Michaels announced that he was going to shake up his lineup. He has done so, and it appears to have paid off. An 8-point lead against a 9-3 team. I think that Arizari, Kent Smith, and Bronson all had very strong games, and I was very pleased to see how Norristown handled Henderson's go-to guy, Travis Reed. I'm sorry, not Travis Reed, but Chase Graves, who has not had a very good first half, and I think that is attributable to a very sound, solid Norristown defense.
I think Norristown's worked really hard tonight on the boards and pushing the ball up court. Seems to be a lot of offensive, defensive intensity tonight. It's been a pleasure watching good parts of this game. I mean, they're very intense, and the execution has been there, and there seems to be more unselfishness than I've seen in some other situations.
All right, fans, we'll take a break now, and we'll see you for the start of the second half. Here we are, fans, back for the second half. Norristown leading 34-26 against the Henderson Warriors.
Starting lines for the second half are the same group of 5 that started for both teams.
Both teams are sending out their first 5 starters.
Possession arrow in their favor.
Norristown will take the ball out at midcourt. Moving left to right. Henderson in a man-to-man. Double dribble.
It's a double dribble.
Anthony Carmona. Henderson's ball. Henderson moving right to left.
Another double dribble violation, turnover Henderson, Norristown possession.
Play is a little bit raggedy in the first 30 seconds. Only one player's in foul trouble, Travis Reed, number 14 for Henderson. He has 3. Norristown comes out in a full court man-to-man. Graves split the defense. Went in for a layup, didn't finish. Drew a foul, however.
Looks like Henderson's coming out with a little more intensity.
I agree. I think the coach might have read them the riot act.
I often wonder what it'd be like listening to his locker room to some of these coaches.
Especially Bob Koch. I understand that next to Bob Koch, Chesty Puller is a pussycat.
That's probably an accurate statement.
Another travel, another turnover by Norristown.
Right, the plus side to that, though, is even though it's a turnover, the ball did get into Bronson. He did look to go to the basket, and that's going to make Henderson think about whether they're going to cover or not.
Yep. Here's Whiteman against the press. Ball kicked. Henderson's ball out of bounds. 34-26. Nobody has scored in the second half as yet. Good hustle by Jamal Alford.
Oh,
Nice steal, nice steal. Jamal Alford made a nice steal, went the length of the court, made the basket. Nice follow-up by Whiteman.
Number 24, Randy Whiteman.
Here's Gowdy over half court, being hawked by Graves. Here's Alford, back to Gowdy. Gowdy penetrates, dishes off. Nice basket, Terry Pearson.
Pearson from Darnell County.
Bob, they're following your advice. They're going inside.
See, I love it. I love it. It makes the defense play defense. You've got to deal with the penetration. They've got 2 nice scores off the glass.
A monster block by Graves.
Henderson still hasn't shown they can score on a half-court set.
Alford.
Steal the game and the conversion.
Henderson takes a timeout.
Norristown 40. Westchester Henderson 28. 30-second timeout for the Warriors.
In about a 45-second burst, Alford has scored 3 baskets. Has been a defensive demon.
And that 8-point lead is now a 12-point spread, and Henderson is forced to call a timeout. But I think in those last 2 of the last 4 possessions, the Henderson players have been careless handling the basketball. With Travis Reed earlier, he tried to go between 2 people and lost the ball. It was a quick turnover. And just a couple seconds ago, bringing the ball up, didn't keep the ball low enough, and it's a quick turnover. I have the numbers. You have to score here. You have a 3-1 on the break.
And he pulled it.
To score.
And he pulled it out. Nice rebound by Bronson. Tough rebound. Here's.
Now, I wouldn't have been happy with that last Norristown possession. You come down there, we're not allowed to touch it, take a quick jump shot.
In other words, with a 12-point lead, you want to bleed some time?
No, I don't. I think you want to be more meticulous with your passes and who's going to take shots. You don't just get it over court, 1 pass, and then you're pulling up taking a jumper. That 12-point lead can drop down or it can go back up.
Number 3.
Travis Reed showing very nice form on the foul line.
I think Henderson felt a sense of urgency too, because he does have 3 fouls and he did start the second half. They're not holding him back. If that were John Chaney, he might be holding him back.
I understand. Got the ball inside to Bronson.
See, there it is, Joe. That's what I like to see. And Henderson has another problem.
Yep. Nice rebound by Travis Reed. Reverse layup.
On the shooting side, you don't like to see the forward catch the ball at the 3-point line, look down at the floor, and then rearrange on the shot. You want to see that catch and going right up one continuous motion. You should know where that marker is before you take the shot. You noticed he did take a look at the floor.
Yep.
And he missed a shot. He was short on the cylinder.
Inside again. Three-second violation.
3-second violation. Assist against the Eagles.
4 minutes to go, 42-32, a 10-point lead for the Eagles.
It's great to see Bronson touching the ball too. He's looking to go to the basket. He wants the ball. I'm not so sure about his stamina at this point. I don't know whether he's been sick or he's just not in that kind of shape yet, but he definitely wants the ball and he's posing a threat inside.
Nice block. Nice block by Terry Pearson. Terry Pearson came out of nowhere, blocked that shot. Excellent defensive play, excellent defensive hustle. That's what you want to see. That was a terrific play, foul or not, Coach?
Yeah, and I know there's a lot of disagreement from the fans and some of the other personnel about whether that was a foul or not, but statistics bear out that when the whistle blows in the paint, 9 out of 10 times it's against the defense. So the odds are very much against you that if there's any contact in the paint, it's a whistle against you.
foreign back violation against Arizari. That was one of the few times tonight where the young man was unable to handle the defensive pressure applied by Henderson. All in all, though, he's played a very good floor game. Good rebound by Christie. Christie bringing the ball up.
Number 24, Henderson Randy White, foul. Into the game, number 50, Chris Walker.
That's Henderson's first foul of the second half.
See, on the plus side, he is touching the ball. He's looking to go to the basket. And in a non-league game, you want to see that. That's going to help them down the line in a league contest.
Seven-point game now.
32, Andrew White.
See, that's what I like to see. That's what I like to see. He gets the offensive rebound. Great effort. Great effort.
Nice play by the big man.
I like the fact that Coach Michaels heard me. He must have heard the halftime, right?
Great minds think alike.
You notice now in that series, he got the ball inside, he dumped it out, which is what I said. He kicked it back out. Shot was taken, good shot, missed it, and he's in the offensive position to rebound, gets to 2 and potentially 3. 7-point lead is now up to almost 10, back up to 9.
Nice play by the big man. Nice play.
Reaching foul number 3, Jamal Albert, his third, team's fourth. Into the game for Westchester, Henderson, number 23, Steven Burton.
Now, interesting too, Joe, we're 2 minutes left in the game, and Henderson was down by 8 at halftime, and it's a 9-point spread. If you're Henderson, you can't be feeling too good. If you're Norristown, you got to feel very good.
Yep. Great block, monster block.
Wallace Bronson on the block.
Bronson is playing very well. He's playing his heart out in there. Here comes Henderson. Jumper, top of the key. Three-pointer.
Number 10 on the 3.
It's now a 6-point game. Christie was out of control on that drive to the basket.
Awarded to the Warriors.
Norristown is frittering away this lead.
Now the next minute and a half are important. That 6-point lead. Henderson's looking to cut it to 1 or 2, and they know they have a shot in the last quarter.
Yep.
Norristown's got to get it back up to 8 or 10 and say, look, now we got to play it for 8 minutes.
A minute and a half to go.
30, Joe.
Oh, yeah.
Minute 30 here.
A lot of points can be scored. Absolutely. It's now a 4-point game. A little over a minute to go.
I thought it was a good call, though. I thought he traveled. He took a couple steps.
He did.
The timing wasn't quite right on the catch and the delivery, but here we go. A minute left. It could be a 2 or 1-point game.
It is a 2-point game. Henderson has put on a remarkable burst over the last 2 minutes, narrowing the lead to just 2 points. Nice pass inside to the big guy who deposits another clutch basket.
Number 11, Xavier Sorry.
It's great to see the point production out of Bronson in the last 4 minutes, 5 minutes.
It is nice. It's nice. "20 seconds left in the third quarter, a four-point Norristown lead.
Number 12 in the game for the Warriors, Chase Reed.
I think I've seen more traveling calls tonight than I've seen in a long time in a varsity basketball game.
It'll be interesting to see what the last 12 seconds does. Norristown will take the last shot and could go up at 6 going into the last quarter. Let's see if we can make it a good last shot.
That's the end of the third period with the score, Norristown 46, Henderson 42. And I think we're in for a very exciting final 8 minutes.
See, you can't, I know Coach Michaels can't be satisfied with that last shot. And that's a running going away from the shot, basket type. It's not what you wanted for the last shot. With 11 seconds left at half court, you want a better shot than that. Momentum has shifted in the last couple minutes.
There's no doubt about that.
Here's the winning 50-50 number tonight. The winning 50-50 number, 985-127.
I think the next 8 minutes is going to be very important for Norristown, not only for tonight's game, but I think for the season. I think if they can hold on here, I think they can regain their equilibrium and start playing the kind of basketball that we're accustomed to seeing from the Eagles.
Certainly you can say to your team that you just knocked off a 9-3 team in a tough Chestmont lead, so
Exactly.
that's a real important win.
That's right, that's right.
The next 8 minutes are really important.
Darnell Gowdy, a clutch jump shot.
But see what that said? They're looking to get the ball inside to Bronson, right? And it's looking in and out and sets up the jump shot.
Right.
Number 30 in the game for Norristown, Ken Smith, replacing Charles Bronson.
Charles Bronson looks a little bit tired, a little bit winded, but he's played his heart out. He's played a heck of a game inside. That's what you like to see. Nice driving runner.
I know Coach has to be very happy with Bronson's effort. See, I like that patience too, Joe. We're 3, 4 passes, 5 passes. There's no hurry to take the shot. Now you have a 5-point lead. You want to make them good shots and make them foul you. There you go. Good work inside and a foul. It's the way you want it. 6 passes, ball gets inside, you go to the line, and look where you're on the numbers.
Number 32 on the foul, Andrew White. That's his team third, shooting 2 will be Ken Smith.
Ken Smith had a very productive first half, and he's contributing now in the fourth quarter. Big rebound for Norristown after missing those 2 shots.
Ken Smith on the offensive rebound.
It almost seems like the Henderson players were mesmerized, just watching the ball go up, down, up, down, up, down. That's 4 consecutive rebounds.
Smith was a tiger on that play, on that play.
No body contact, no box out on that. Just verticality alone isn't enough. I got 4 passes out of that. Both sides of the court were utilized. The ball gets dropped inside, and we're once again going to the foul line. Potential 2-shot situation. But just as importantly, 6 minutes, 35 seconds left in the game. Henderson has 5 fouls.
6:35.
And one-on-ones may figure very prominently in this as we get down to the last 2-3 minutes. What could be a close game.
Please do not exit by the parking lot end of the gymnasium. Kindly.
6.5 minutes, 49-44 the Eagles. Eagles are on the line shooting a 1-and-1. Got to make your foul shot. Got to make the foul shot.
I'd also like to take a moment. I know that we as officials at Norristown High School have been remiss on this, but we'd also like to take a moment to thank the Conacelli dealership for the scoreboards that we do have on the both ends of the gymnasium, currently selling Mitsubishi, Honda, Toyota, and Nissan products. And they provided us with those scoreboards a couple years ago, and they're multi-purpose boards. They're used for volleyball, they're used for wrestling as well as basketball. So we're going to try and do our best in future games to make sure we recognize what the Conacelli dealership has done for Norristown High School and providing us with permanent as well as portable backboards.
They're a good corporate citizen, no doubt about that. No doubt about that. Six-point lead, 6.5 minutes to go. Good. It was a good call by the ref. He was right on. Right. He was right on top of it. Right on top of it.
It's a good call.
Penetrating. Nice block. There's Smith again. Smith is playing very well on the offensive boards.
Yeah, he's very quick, he's very vertical, and he's very intense. That's a nice combination to have going to the backboard.
Yep.
Now, Norristown has to make the foul shots, though. 0 for 2, 1 for 2 doesn't make it at this point.
Right. Henderson is saying, please take the game.
Six minutes to go, Joe, and Henderson has 6 fouls. Norristown's got to be thinking now. We want to keep working it inside. Want to keep hitting the boards.
Good rebound by Smith again. He's played a terrific game, that young man. Good hustle. Good defensive hustle by the Eagles.
I thought that was a possible fast break, Joe, and Carmona hustled down and stopped the fast break.
Yes, he
got
did.
us the possession.
Yes, he did. That's what you want to see. Michaels is shaking up the lineup, and it's worked. There's a steal and a drive by Graves. 6-point Norristown lead, 5 minutes to go.
You just hate to see that as the offensive coach to give that ball up play. Here we go. Could be 2 easy buckets in a row in a matter of seconds.
Norristown calls timeout.
Timeout Norristown. Number 11, number 4, Christie, and number 52, Charles Bronson into the Norristown lineup.
Bronson with the offensive rebound.
Over the top now. His third, team 6. Both teams will be shooting the bonus on the next foul.
4:40 to go. Norristown with a 4-point lead. This is where Henderson's experience might pay off. They've senior-dominated club.
Bronson with a nice block on that.
Yes, he did. Bronson and Smith have been lions in there.
There's a foul. Now in that last 4 minutes, Joe, one-on-one situation potentially for both teams. Now it's going to be the team who can finish at the foul line and not make turnovers.
Right.
Mark Chambers, Marvito Christie will be going to the line to shoot a 1-and-1.
This is where those 25 practice foul shots come into play.
Yeah, and you know what, Joe? This is the part as a coach that your adrenaline really gets going as a player. This is what your practices have covered. The last 3-4 minutes of the game, 3-point, 4-point games, where you want to get the ball, numbered plays, set plays, how well you execute.
Mm-hmm.
This is the party time, I think, of playing.
Okay.
You get a chance to put everything you put into practice. You get a chance to put it in on the court and see if you can execute it.
Our 2 big foul shots by Christie. 2 big foul shots.
Nice reverse layup.
Nice reverse layup by Graves. Excellent move. There's a steal by Whiteman. Length of the court. 2-point game.
He has very quick hands. That attempted steal earlier in the period, the ball went out of bounds, but he got the ball.
Here's Christie with the ball. Kicks out. Carmona in the right corner. There's Christie. Tough layup. Didn't drop. Henderson can tie. Henderson ties the game. It's a 54-54 game with 3 minutes to go.
Coach Michaels wants a timeout. Now it seems like Norristown's playing on their heels. Henderson is playing with a lot of confidence, a lot of aggression.
Right. I think the Henderson team is senior dominated, and this is where the experience is going to pay off here. If it does. Don't count the Eagles out.
This is what we pay for, right? To get in to see the last 3 minutes, 54 game. Both teams playing very intense.
We have a rather sparse crowd this evening. It's understood that this is not a traditional rivalry, but high school basketball can be the best ticket in town.
It's hard to imagine the people are doing a lot of other things, and you have an opportunity to see good basketball in an hour and a half, 2 hours of your time to see it. It's a great way to spend the night. Then you go out and eat and relax, pig out, enjoy yourself. It's interesting. Henderson's back in the press, right? And we'll see what Norristown does with it. If they are successful breaking it, or they turn it over.
Norristown is essentially in a 3-guard offense. They have 3 of their guards out there.
They're still looking to get the ball inside. There you go. There you go. Good patience on that series. 7 passes. They got the ball inside, and they were looking inside. Matter of fact, Terry Pearson was open a little bit earlier on the basket cut, and they didn't get it to him. But
here's Jamal Alford
like to see.
Shooting a 1-and-1. 2 big shots. I'm sorry, it's not a 1-and-1. It's a 2-shot foul. He missed them both.
What we said a couple moments ago, Joe, execution, turnovers, and foul shots. That's where we are at this point in the game.
Yep. Henderson has taken the lead.
Here's what you said about the senior leadership. Penetration, kickoff, they knew each other. They knew that was the play.
There's a deflected pass. Follow up by Graves. Clutch basket by Graves.
I would be upset on the Norristown end because they got the shot and a missed shot and a follow. Somebody from Norristown should have been there to get that rebound.
Norristown calls timeout. Henderson has scored 4 straight baskets now, a 60-54 game, 1:40 to go. The Eagles have got to be a little bit discouraged.
We're seeing a very different Henderson team in the last quarter than what we saw the first half. I don't know what the wake-up call was, but they are a very different team in the last couple minutes.
This is obviously the team that beat Spring Ford.
Very different team. And missing those 2 foul shots a moment ago, that 6-point lead is a 4-point lead, and they don't score off the missed foul shot. Right when they set up our press. There's so many variables in this game.
So again, we remind you at the conclusion of the game, please exit by way of the lobby area where the snack bar is located. Do not exit to the parking lot through the parking lot doors.
Yep, we're just talking about it. I just said there's 3 things they have to do: control the ball, the execution, and you have to make the foul shots, knowing what you have on the board.
Nice pass inside by Arizari. 1:20 to go, 4-point lead.
Now that you don't want to see. You just don't want to see. Basket for basket. The clock doesn't favor that.
Graves is stepping up in the 4th quarter.
Henderson's coach is really upset because there's a reach there in the backcourt. It puts him on the line. You stop the clock. You pick up another foul. And the next foul is a 2-shot foul. You don't need it. Coach was just having a seizure with that.
This is Darnell Gowdy on the line. Makes the first.
Right, Joe, this is the time you want to play position defense. You don't want to be reaching, committing fouls. Norristown may have to, but Henderson doesn't.
62-58, a minute 15 to go. Dangerous pass.
Oh, brother.
Norristown, big defensive play.
Hurry to pass.
1 minute to play. Here's Gowdy. Gowdy attempts to penetrate. Out to Alford. Swings the ball to Arizari in the corner. Big rebound by Travis Reed.
Timeout, Henderson. 37 seconds remaining.
Now I wonder with that, Joe, with that quick timeout, 4 Norristown players are in the backcourt. Henderson has the numbers. They have the opportunity to possibly score the layup out of it or pull it out. Now, if I'm not mistaken, that timeout forces the ball to be entered in the backcourt, which is going to be a good press situation for Norristown. I'm not sure where he acknowledged that. I didn't quite catch it, but it may be the ball's going to enter in the backcourt.
Can you think of any tactical reason why the coach might have called a timeout?
I think he had already set in his mind that he was going to call the timeout, but the fact is 4 Norristown players were in the backcourt and they had the numbers and they had players down. I don't know whether he saw it, he already gauged that he was going to call it, but that's where your point guard takes over and realizes what's going on.
All right, 62-58, Henderson winning, about 38 seconds to play. Henderson's ball out.
Notice where the ball was entered and see if Norristown is going to take advantage of it.
I do notice that, Bob. You're absolutely correct. Absolutely correct.
And Henderson's having a tough time.
Half a minute to play, 4-point game. There's a foul in the backcourt.
You see the difference. If he takes that timeout when we get it over, now the ball can be entered in the backcourt and you can't quite put the pressure on. But Henderson really earned that possession. They were fortunate they didn't turn it over.
If Waitman sinks these 2, they could be the 2 nails in the coffin.
Yeah, Norristown leads at least 2 more possessions to tie it. And Henderson may turn it over, that's a possibility, but they've also been able to score pretty easily last couple minutes off the press.
2 clutch free throws by Waitman. Again, senior leadership. Nice play by Arizari. Nice drive. Nice steal.
Oh, brother. Oh, brother.
And then a steal by Alford and a foul on Westchester Henderson. Alford will be shooting 2.
If I'm not mistaken, he missed the previous 2 foul shots?
Yes.
Right? These are important, too.
Credit to the Eagles. They're not giving up. They're going down guns blazing.
Right, and earlier you had asked me about pressing teams, right? Here it is. Norristown's pressing and it's forced turnovers. Now, he has to make these shots.
Three-point game, 16 seconds to go.
Now by Arizari to stop the clock. This second, putting Henderson in a 1-on-1 situation.
It's a good foul, I think, Joe. Less than a second expired on the clock, and they're going to have to make it on the line.
Right, it's a foul you have to take. It's a smart foul.
Number 10, Moore Chambers, going to the line for a 1-on-1.
Right about now, that basket looks the size of a postage stamp to this young man. And he dropped it right through the postage stamp.
3 straight foul shots, nothing but net though.
Right.
No. Someone has to shoot the ball and do it quick.
That's the end of the game. That's the end of the game. Henderson 65, Norristown 61. Bob, I note that Norristown held the lead throughout the game until midway through the fourth quarter, when Henderson's experience and I think their superior athleticism got them the lead. They made some clutch free throws down the stretch. Norristown, unfortunately, was not able to do the same. But still, looking for a silver lining in a rather gray cloud, I think that Coach Michaels' decision to shake up the team, to bench certain people, worked out for the Eagles. I think that we saw tonight the emergence of Kent Smith and Charles Bronson as excellent inside players. They both played their hearts out. I thought that Arizari played a very smart, very intelligent, a very heady, a very hustling kind of a game. And again, I think that Norristown can take away from this game those positives. Henderson came through when they had to, but again, it's a long season, and I think that Coach Michaels has found some players on his bench that are going to get more time, and I think some of the starters, or some of the former starters, are going to see more time on the bench.
I like the fact that he did use a lot of players. That's going to help him long term. As you said, the silver lining is the fact that they played very well. They had to lead most of the game. And as a coach after this, it's a loss. You don't focus on W's or L's. You focus on your performance, and you say, this is a team that's one of the better teams in Chestmont, maybe even one of the better teams in District 1. And we played very well. We had the opportunity to be successful tonight. We almost were, and you want to build on that. Coach Michaels, I'm sure, will accentuate the positives as he goes into the next practice, and then you continue to work on the negatives that you've seen. The turnovers, the missed foul shots, maybe not being able to finish the game in the last couple minutes.
Can those problems be addressed at practice, Coach?
Absolutely, and that's the only time you're going to be able to address it, because games don't give you that opportunity. You have to address it at practice.
And how do you become a better foul shooter? Just by shooting more and more fouls, correct?
By shooting more fouls, and of course for coach to look for some mechanical problems. But one of the things that I thought I saw with the Norristown players at the end, normally you like to see, you have a 10-second timeline on that foul line, and you'd like to see the players take a 5 or 6 count with the same routine, the same rhythm. What I saw with our players was a quick 2-shot. They're taking a shot with a 2-second, 3-second, maybe a 4-second interim, and that's not usually enough. You need to get that feel, that rhythm, and take a 5 or 6 count, take a deep breath, and relax and smile with it.
Okay, Bob, it was a pleasure working with you.
Same here, Joe. It was a good time. I had a lot of fun.
I look forward to working with you again, and with Coach McGee. It's nice to sit next to two people who have, to their credit, over 700 varsity basketball wins. And for Bob Koch, for Tom McGee, this is Joe Hyland saying goodbye for now.